Normally when I start one of these LP videos, I have some long, drawn-out intro talking about, like, the relevance of this game to me or anything like that, but honestly, I just really wanted to play some Kirby. So let's just play some Kirby. Released in 1992 for the Game Boy, Kirby's Dream Land is the first appearance of our little white friend Kirby. That's right, in the original game, in North America at least, he was depicted as a white cream puff instead of the pink boy we all know and love today. Simply because the game was that color. The Game Boy couldn't really handle a color other than green. So instead of him being snot green Kirby or, you know, cotton candy pink Kirby, we got marshmallow Kirby. Which makes sense considering his whole shtick is, you know, eating. He does kind of look like a cream puff, at least when he eats an enemy, so it makes a lot of sense. Now, I probably don't have to explain Kirby all that much to people. I feel like that's one of those series that's been around for so long, you just kind of instinctively know how to play Kirby. But the thing is, you might not realize a couple things since this is the first game. Like, Kirby doesn't have a copy ability in this one. He only has star shooting. He can fly by pressing the up button, he can eat with the B button, he can jump with the A button, and he can duck. He can't slide, he can't really do anything else. He can eat, and that's about it. He can't even do the max star shot. For those of you who know, when you eat two things at once, you kind of get a more powerful star shot. Nope, not even in this game yet. Same strength no matter what. So it is pretty simple in the grand scheme of things, but I mean, it's an early Game Boy game, so what'd you expect at that point? And also, it's the first game in a series that definitely got more complicated as it went on. Considering as well that Sakurai's the one who designed Kirby in the first place, and his whole point was to make a game that was, you know, pretty simple, it makes a lot of sense. It's a pretty easy-ish game for the most part, but the funny thing is, and this kind of ties into when we did The Lion King a couple weeks back over on the channel as well. The Lion King, I talked about how I don't find that game difficult for various reasons, and my examples weren't the strongest, I'll be perfectly honest. Because obviously I grew up with the game, and I got used to the struggles in that game. But funny enough, when I flash back and think about games that I found hard as a kid, this game was there. Kirby's Dream Land was actually one I used to borrow from my cousin a lot. I like how I said I wasn't going to tell any stories, and then I immediately went right into a story. I'm even ignoring the fact we're just fighting a giant tree. We're just spitting apples at a tree. We're basically shooting like this tree sweat back at it. It's just really rude. But at least now we get to dance and celebrate. But yeah, no, I used to borrow this game off my cousin, and I always kind of struggled with it. I remember seeing the game over screen a fair amount, and I don't even think it was the harder version of the game. I think it was just the normal one. So it's funny going back to this now, especially considering Kirby Superstar literally has this game as a truncated version of itself. Like, it's a way easier version, and if anything, that's probably gonna mess me up for the rest of the gameplay, is that aspect of it. But it's still cool going back and seeing things that even aren't in Kirby Superstar, like this version here. Castle Lololo Stage 2 is not actually in Kirby Superstar, well, officially. It's pseudo in there. It's combined with another stage, essentially. You still get to go around, you get to kind of goof around, like, but none of these actual, like, paths are really in there. You still fight Lololo and La La La, which are just references to a series that, actually, one of HAL's biggest series, other than Kirby and Mother and Smash Brothers, is the Adventures of Lolo games, or the Eggerland games. They're like a fun puzzle game, and that's where Lolo and Lala are from, and Lololo and La 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 are literally just references to that game series. They push blocks. It's all about pushing blocks around and solving puzzles. So, of course, the puzzle is eat and murder, which Kirby is very good at. No. Come on. I got off track a little bit here, but yeah, no. This is just gonna be like a nice chill thing. There's not really too many secrets in the way to really worry about. There's like little things like this. If you stand next to this block, it turns into a Maxim tomato, or as I like to call it, Maximum tomato. The good old spicy curry actually originated from here. You might be more familiar with that in Smash Brothers at this point, because it doesn't really show up in actual Kirby games that much anymore, if at all for that matter. And it's just fun seeing a Kirby game that's not necessarily dependent on copying powers. Because this is really, unless you count some random spin-offs, this is really the only one. And it forces you to play completely different for the most part. I'm sure a bunch of people actually still do play through the games with copy powers off and just use the spitting attack. It does make for a completely different play style if you've gotten so ingrained to, like, I need abilities here. I need to murder Lolo and La with beam and yo-yo. Nope. We're murdering with vomiting instead. Is it vomiting? I guess it's spitting up, technically. Alright, let's grab this star and dance! I'm not sure if they ever actually stated why Kirby, like, multiplies and dances, but it's one of those things I'm actually really glad they added in for just character's sake. It's just super cute. Alright, now we're back to one of the stages that actually shows up in Spring Breeze and Kirby Superstar. So we get to hang out in the nice tropical area and get shot in the face a lot. This version of the game is actually 5 stages long, but Spring Breeze is 4, so they, honestly, they just cut out Castle Lolo and La and kind of mix it in with another stage just because they could for the most part. And it works, like, the whole point of Spring Breeze was just to be, like, I don't want to say like a director's cut, but it kind of turned into one in a way. Like, at this point, I'd say most fans who know this game probably know Spring Breeze better at this point. Most Kirby fans have either played Kirby Superstar or Superstar Ultra on the DS. But I don't know how often people go back to play the original game, because I know for me it's been, it's been a long time. We've done some races on the channel randomly for streaming and that, but otherwise I don't think I've really touched this game since I was like a little kid. And that was kind of the same for Lion King as well, other than like a random race here and there. Like, I never played that game, or a lot of the games I've covered on the channel recently since I was a kid. But it is funny going back and having like very clear, very distinct memories of getting game overs in this, and then now like being otherwise fine. We're gonna lose lives because I'm playing really cavalier, which happens all the time on this channel, let's be real, but the game itself is very forgiving. There's healing items everywhere. If you do a little bit of hunting, you'll find one-ups. It's not that bad in the grand scheme of things, and I think that's what makes it so approachable, and probably why Kirby ended up actually taking off. Because keep in mind, HAL had made like, what, dozens of games at this point before Kirby happened? Like, Kirby was 1992. They were making games, at least for Nintendo, like what, 86, 88? Oh, check this out. If you have spicy curry on and you jump in the water, the effect immediately ends. This is like the only part of the game where you can do that. That's just such a neat touch that really never gets referenced anywhere else, because I guess it's technically getting rid of a power-up, so it's not that helpful really, but it's just like a neat touch. Oh, bye! And now we're in the clouds, which is the nice tie-in to our next area, Bubbly Clouds. But also with a boss that we don't normally get to fight, and a power-up we don't normally get to see anymore. This is the Mint Leaf. Grabbing the Mint Leaf makes you have unlimited air puffs, and here's a boss that really didn't show up again for ages, Kabula. So essentially this is just a shmup, like a shoot-'em-up battle. Just keep damaging Kabula with your air puffs, and you'll be fine and dandy. There we go, done and done. It's been a while, but I think Kabula like stayed out of the series until like Kirby Superstar Ultra, I think was the first time they came back. So it had been a long time. And since we murdered in the skies, we're now trapped in the clouds. Welcome to stage 4, Bubbly Clouds. A nice peaceful area full of spiky Gordos, cannons, and you know, everyone just kind of chilling. Oh, and then there's this guy. Oh God, don't get, uh-oh. Let's dodge you all. Oh, there's way more of you here than I remember on this side. I thought this was going to be a much more peaceful zone. The umbrellas, the parasols are flying away as we eat the people that are riding them. Just casually get some slowdown and get inside the building. Sir Kibble! I miss having Cutter. I do miss the power-ups. It is strange. Kirby's Dream Land 1 and 2 are the ones I probably have gone back to the least. I do remember liking Dream Land 2, but I also remember Dream Land 2 not quite having down the searching mechanics that Adventure sort of had. But maybe it's just been that kind of, it's been so long I haven't gone back to it. Or maybe it's just because you needed Rick, Kine, and Koo that you actually, the puzzling just felt a little more awkward. I don't know, it's been a while. I kind of want to go back and visit that one too, but I don't have as much nostalgia for that one as I do with this one. Okay, hidden door. One of a few in this stage, and like honestly, this game doesn't have too many hidden secrets, but the ones they have are kind of fun. This stage has got two of the main ones. Like, there's one near the end of the stage. Well, I feel it's just become a Kirby mainstay at this point. All right, well, we got to fight Kracko Jr. first. Since we don't have the ability to use power-ups, we need to just fight with the power of food. Which I guess is a somewhat ironic power, considering that the whole plot of the game is that King Dedede stole all the food in Dreamland. So Kirby decided to go stop him. Kirby, a character who's basically now associated with gluttony. So, you know, I feel like that might have backfired a little bit. Maybe Dedede wasn't completely wrong with his plan. Maybe he was actually just trying to save the food. He wasn't trying to save the food. He absolutely was not. It also throws me off having played, again, Spring Breeze way more, because there's usually like a 1-up or a healing item down there. And there's just nothing down there. But then there's like little rooms like this that aren't even in Spring Breeze. You know, this room where you just destroy blocks. The stars will damage you. Oh, wait, no they don't? Wait. Is that in the second mode? Oh yeah, because they flash in that one. Never mind. Okay, never mind. And there's like this little block here. That also does nothing. Unless it's some Easter egg I was never aware of. It's entirely possible, but I looked around. I was like, do I only remember all the ones as a kid? Turns out I pretty much did. Because there's this one right here, which any Kirby player at this point probably remembers. The moon. The moon seems to always be some sort of door at some point in any Kirby game, especially the more recent ones. The only thing this Kirby game really doesn't have that other Kirby games do, aside from the obvious of, no power-ups, or sorry, no transformations, is HAL doors. There's no HAL room in this one. Because that's actually something they kind of started putting in Kirby's Adventure. Oh man, I forgot. I'm so used to the other fights that this just seems... I forgot how slow this fight is. Wow, okay. I mean, I'm not gonna get through this without getting hit because sometimes I just get caught off guard, but I really thought Kracko was actually gonna be a little more aggro. There we go, like that. That's what I thought. I was wondering if you had a dash move. Just didn't want to use it. You're actually being really nice just giving me attack fodder. I think going back and playing this is also showing me how impatient I've gotten as an adult, which makes a lot of sense, honestly. Because I'm thinking like, man, this fight's taking forever. And that's just because any other time you fight Kracko, you have power-ups, so it goes a lot faster. But we're getting through the game pretty fast. We're already at Mount Dedede. This is the final stage. Now, in Spring Breeze and Kirby Superstar, you just go straight to fight Dedede, but in the original game, you actually have to refight everyone. So let's start with Wispy. But they do a little intro area first, before you do that. If you remember, I think it's Kirby's Adventure has like the Kirby's Dreamland world at the very end. They do like a little thing like this. But there's a weird little, I'm not quite sure what the logic is behind this. Maybe it's just because they want to do a cool thing. Touch yourself. Touch another Kirby, and you destroy that Gordo. Which lets you fight the tree yet again. Use tree sweat to murder tree. Throw apples back at it. And then Wispy's just, you know, the same as he always has been. You don't really, there's no real surprise. You made a tree cry yet again. Let's go to Lolo and La La La. Back to the castle. Bunch of enemies that don't really ever show up again. Oh, the headbutt is in this one. Okay, never mind. It wasn't for some reason. Warping Dancing Kirby. Which reminds me, if you pause the game and wait long enough, because they didn't want to, I guess, do any screen burning on the Game Boy game, Kirby will start dancing for you. Unless he's not in the mood, which apparently seems to be the case today. Kirby, you gonna do me dirty like this? There we go, yeah. He's just ready to go. He wants to stay warmed up. Hey! And he'll do a bunch of little more idle animations like that, but it's just a little cute additional thing. There's a lot, that's the thing I like about Kirby games, and honestly most HAL games in general, is that they just like to cram in a lot of like little niche things that otherwise don't really need to be in there. Like, Kirby doesn't need to dance on the pause screen. Especially considering we're talking a Game Boy game that you didn't want the batteries to die in, so you usually tried to pause as little as possible as a kid. Unless you had your Game Boy plugged in, or you had one of those mega batteries. Let's go fight Kabula. Let's go to the beach! Dodge you. I forget, are you instant kill if I touch you, or do you just do 3 damage? I can't remember if the door ones specifically are instant kill. I think I'm gonna check. I'll check on the one for, I'm gonna say Gordo, for Kracko, because I don't think I'm gonna take that many hits against Kracko. I might regret that going in for DDD, because I don't think it doesn't heal me in advance, so I may regret that decision. Let's find out together. Oh, it is insta-kill. Okay. Alright. I just wanted to know. We'll just headbutt our way back down there anyways. I'm actually surprised at that. I would have thought that would be in the secondary mode, not in the primary mode, too. Because, like, Gordos don't normally kill you. They do a lot of damage, but they're not usually, like, a killing shot like that. And then again, this is the final area. They gotta make it interesting and tricky for you somehow. Uh-oh. Oh, there's that hit I said I wasn't gonna take. Come on. Come on, one last one. And let's go deal with the actual problem. All 4 bosses dead. Fly up into the big old DDD panel. It's time to meet King DDD. You know him, you love him. He's got a hammer. He jumps a lot. He makes his own star attacks, which will damage you, but he can also eat. He's a very hungry boy. Oh, too close. DDD is a deceptive fight, mainly because he has so much health compared to the other bosses. So especially as a kid, I always found it like kind of tricky because he was so damage spongy. And also his attacks, while they do have tells for them for the most part, you're not quite sure when they're gonna stop. Or if he'll go from one to the other. So he's always been an interesting boss fight to me, just the way he works in this. Uh-oh, he might actually kill me. He's actually going to kill me. Bummer. Good old LP Curse. In full form today! I really wish that did 2 damage. Have to be careful, because he can actually jump up with that hammer as well, and that is bad news if he gets me there. Oh my god. And then sometimes he just doesn't want to make stars for you. Which I guess that's technically the smart move. You want to make something that will actually help your rival here. DDD? DDD. Really? Okay, we're... DDD. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Got a little concerned there. He really didn't want to give me any ammo. Alright, 1-to-1. Which means now we're going to screw it up and have to do the entire fight over again. That's game. 1 death, which we did on purpose. Not too shabby. Almost a perfect game. And now with the power of the 5 stars, which apparently supply food for all of Dreamland, Kirby gets big. All the food is falling out of DDD's castle that he stole. Kirby the blimp flies home to the credits. Masa Sakurai. Kyohei Miyabi. Sunday Rain, my favorite programmer, and many other names you may recognize, such as Mammy Prico and Tetsuya Notoya. It's always weird seeing some people showing their actual name and some people showing like their nicknames, because I know the story going around was that special thanks Bubby. Most people went around talking that they used nicknames for the credits because companies didn't want them being sniped by other companies. Which, I get that. That makes sense. That's definitely what happened with Capcom and Konami. But it's so weird now from a preservation standpoint, tracking who actually made what. Because I know some nicknames haven't been completely figured out yet. I know the HMD one from Beautiful Joe and from the Mega Man games took a long time to figure out, for example. And the stars turned Kirby back to normal. They hold up the castle while it's raining food. Kirby makes the other Dreamland residents happy with food again. And he holds up a sign to say bye-bye. That's it. That's the game. Well, one of them. Good job. Press up A and select on the title screen to start a new adventure. Good luck. And of course, DDD's got a little, I'm so mad! Damn it, no, not again! I don't want to fight him again! I always love those little animations. That's part of the reason I liked doing the animations on some of the earlier Let's Play videos, is just little things like that. I always like the personality of them. Alright! Well, since this is actually really short, I can't tell because it took me a couple minutes to get started recording. I think we're around 20 minutes. Let's do it again. Let's beat the whole thing a second time. Up, select an A for extra game. Now, for as much as that did not seem that difficult, this mode is surprisingly actually challenging because everyone acts a bit differently than you expect, and they're honestly a lot more aggressive and faster. I like the idea of unlocking a harder version of the game. I actually think that was super neat that they did that. I mean, it makes more sense to have it all available from the start, but I like this being like a little secret thing you can get. This mode, definitely as a kid, did a lot of damage to me, and even as an adult. I remember when we did the Kirby race on stream a couple years back. Caught me off guard. Just the speed every character moves at now is, very different from what you saw earlier. It's amazing what just speeding up enemies can do to your game for difficulty. It's kind of neat. Like, Kirby still takes the same amount of hits, but even some of the enemies look completely different. They've become like, they're more aggressive versions, like Bronto Burt's turned into a different enemy. There's the Cream Puff characters. I don't remember some of the character names, unfortunately, so that's gonna disappoint some people. I can edit them in post. That's the power of editing. Saves my lack of knowledge at times because, unfortunately, I don't usually remember every enemy's name. As much as I like Kirby games, and there's very few I haven't played, doesn't mean I remember everyone's name. I've probably gotten at least someone's name wrong at some point so far. But then again, I'm also the guy who thought those were called Maximum Tomatoes until I realized they were just Maxim. But I also didn't stop calling them Maximum Tomatoes because I like the name better. Time to fight a tree again. The tree this time around, a lot more aggressive. Simply because now there are Gordos coming out of the top. So that means you can't just sit in the corner and just wait. You actually gotta dodge now. It's amazing how this just became a standard effect of Wispy fights from here on out. The fact that he can just randomly summon Gordos, but kind of take it for granted. And still beaten pretty easily, though. Let's get out of here. Let's do a dance. Hey. Back to Castle Lololo. God, there's a series I want to Let's Play. But the problem is it's a puzzle series, so it's one of those tricky ones to do, and it's a fairly long one, too. You might see that at some point in the future, but I gotta figure out a good way to do it first. We'll forego doing some of the extra rooms, ones that we've already seen, that if we don't need the power-ups and stuff like that. But here, there's another way you can go, so we're gonna take the branching path at least. I don't think any of these have power-ups in them. But this kind of does. Grab this, get up there before we take some damage, get some major slowdown, because a lot of enemies in water seem to do that. Kirby doesn't know how to attack underwater yet, so you just gotta dodge. No spitting water yet. But there is the lollipop! Invincibility for Kirby. The power of candy makes him hyper, thus making him able to destroy anything he touches, as candy tends to do. Unfortunately, it doesn't carry over to the boss fight. Oh god, right, they're different now. Okay. So Lololo is a lot faster now and throws a Gordo. So you've got to be very careful where you pick and choose to attack. Fortunately, you can duck on these soft platforms and you won't eat your shot, which I think is a problem in later games. I forgot how fast he was there. Okay, is the Maximum Tomato still here? Yes, all right, we're good. We're still good. Healed back up. And the bottle's still there anyway, so we would have been able to grab that. Let's get spicy. And jump through here, go through the slowdown. I thought one of those question blocks somewhere also had a 1-up, but unfortunately I don't seem to remember where that one is. Not that it mattered in the original playthrough, but this one it probably would have a little bit, because they're much more stringent and like, they hold back 1-ups a lot more in this one, and to a point where I forget if there even are any. I think there is, because I believe the moon still has one. Welcome to the Lololo and Lalala refight, where they are way faster! They're still not that bad because you can just take your time. It's just you've got to be quick on the draw if you want to actually attack them. You have to let them actually do loops, and if they do that, you're in trouble. They kind of pin you into the bottom there. So staying in the mid is usually your best strat, but you got to make sure you don't miss out on actually getting a projectile. All right, 2 hits left, 1 on each. Lolo, you're out first. And la la la. You're out next. Wherever you're standing on this screen is where you'll appear on the next one, so if you stand at the top middle there, immediate pickup of the star. Now that we've escaped the castle, we made it back to the islands. Every time I see this cutscene, I feel so bad when he gets that hook stuck in his mouth, because that fucking has to hurt. I know, like, Kirby is a cartoon character, but, like, fish hooks, I've had fish hooks stuck in my hands before. Hurts a lot! And so we will not focus on that anymore. In fact, instead, let's focus on the fact that we are getting kind of rocked right now. Uh-oh. Yeah, I've taken too many hits. I think we're actually gonna die here. Ooh. Disagree with that part a little bit. I feel like we should have been able to get that guy in time. All right. Well, it can't be flawless. At least there's a genuine death. Also, as you might have noticed, some enemies actually do resist Kirby's eating ability. The suction power is sometimes not enough. It can be guarded. Oh, whoa. And then some guys just do 2 damage, apparently. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Sing, sing, sing. Kirby's microphone still looks like a hat. It looks like a cowboy hat to me. Did to me as a kid, still does to this day. Oh, we're doomed. I think one thing I take for granted too with Kirby games, at least maybe just the regular one, is that usually what, you flew over these as a kid? You would try to fly over everything as much as you could. But I kind of respect the fact that playing an actual... Uh-oh. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. I need that. Oh! I forgot about him! Oh, that's so dirty! Oh, that's so good, dude. That's awesome. Get out of here. Alright. Yeah, I just took oh, they both went for me. I just took too long. That's all it was. Damn. That sucks. This is funny, though. One thing here is I believe the coconut has switched sides. Yeah, it's on the right now. It was on the left originally, so they do little mix-up things like that. But I think, actually, this one-up should still be here. Any one-up you kind of had to go out of your way for should still be there. Yeah, there we go. Just gotta keep in mind everything else, because they hide Gordos everywhere now. The spiky boys. Whoa. They won't instant kill, but they're gonna hurt. So since you notice, like, regular enemies are doing 2 damage to you. And they did little things, they replaced that. That was a tomato previously. No, 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 get out of here. Not interested. Let's get spicy! Right into the cannon. Ignore the sad burts. Go back in here. We'll lose our spiciness because it still gives us another one up. So it seems like every room that you just kind of go out of your way for the one-ups are still there. I know they lower the amount of one-ups you get in the moon area. I forget if they get rid of it in the other hidden area in Bubbly Clouds. Uh-oh. Okay, let's make some progress here. Oh God, look at this guy. Look at this Shotzo. He's going nuts. Ooh, okay, I realize we're in a little bit of trouble here, because we are at Kabula. And since you've noticed that the bosses are different, Kabula is a lot more aggressive on extra game. I don't think we're going to get through this cleanly with 3 hit points. Let's see what we can do. Kabula is way more aggressive and way faster, and has a lot more spread shots. Since our air puffs cannot destroy the cannon shots, we've got to be very careful with how we line up. But we only took 1 hit, not bad. However, we'll see how we do in the refight, because we still got to do all those again. Hey! Bubbly Clouds, how different are you going to be? Considering there was already a lot of things I was a little bit worried about in this one. So we got the Gordos, Shotzos. Ow. Uh-oh! Now that's embarrassing. Ugh. If you don't know anything about Kirby games, if you have an item in your mouth, you cannot fly. Unfortunately, when you also eat an item, you get a bigger sprite. So I mislined where I needed to jump there. Well, I guess, yeah. Because if you're... Where is it now? I can't even get it to happen. Yeah, you can't jump through these clouds, so... Smacked into the top and fell. Could not get rid of the food fast enough. We've lost a life in the most embarrassing of ways. It'd be a little different if we were trying to go fast through the area, but we're not really. Oh well, as long as we can still do it. It's just now we have to be careful, because now the parasols are mad, and they are homing. So now we actually have to take our time if we want to be safe. We can still be aggressive if we want, but it... Oh. I would say it doesn't normally work, but apparently that time it kind of did. then there's just shit like that. No, 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 no. Just because you're Kibble's replacement doesn't mean I have to respect you. You weren't knighted like he was. Although your boomerangs are a lot more to worry about since they go up. Okay. Oh, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. All right. Those guys explode if you leave them alone long enough. Air puffs also destroy them, so just take your time, because I'm pretty sure there's another enemy who's going to jump up from the bottom of the screen and murder us. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happens here. Or I could just take a boomerang to the face. A nice little cutter. Kirby, Kirby, please be careful. You just need to fall down. Kirby, please stop getting stuck in the clouds. Okay. All right, that would have been just as embarrassing as earlier. Dying here is not as bad because, well, they kind of fly out of nowhere, so it makes sense. Just a random clipping off-screen death here at least makes sense versus getting stuck on the edge of cloud. We can take the shortcut again. I'm not bothering with the other path because there's nothing really good up there, and it just cuts to Kracko Jr. anyways. This, at least, is a little more interesting and gets us some power-ups. Because right now we need it. We have no health. But we really, like, took a bunch of hits last time we went through here, and they're more aggressive now, but at least there's maximum tomato here for us. And the 1-up is still here. Oh, I thought that one was gone. Maybe they didn't get rid of as many. Maybe they did not get rid of Maybe they did not get rid of as many 1-ups as I thought. Kracko and Kracko Jr. have an exploit, as you may have noticed. Stand in the left corner. You can duck too if you want. As long as you stay here, you won't get hit. The only chance you get to attack is grabbing the bombs. Oops. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I don't know why. Sometimes I even say my plan out loud and then I just forget it at a moment's notice. Alright, there we go. Just wait for him to... Boom, let's get out of here. Chase that eyeball. Beat him up, Kirby. Okay, we need some health bad right now. We're back to the block maze. Ooh. Oh, yeah. So the Gordos this time around actually do track your vertical height. As opposed to your horizontal height. So you have to be a little quick getting through here. Not too shabby. But it can catch you off guard, especially if you're not used to the change between the two modes. I really like that there's so much of a difference that it actually is memorable. All right, notice these stars are now flashing. Now they should actually damage you. Not that I want to stop and find out. Nope, I'm just crazy. Oh, whoop, okay, nope, they do, okay, all right. I was beginning to think I was going insane because that other one didn't hit us. That one, yeah, no, we've been hit twice. I'm taking this block with me. You can't stop me. Okay, we just gotta make it to the moon. Just get to the moon. That umbrella really wants us dead. Don't let it stop you. That's a lot of umbrellas! Sorry, parasols. And now there are Gordos falling everywhere. Falling, flying, both. Frawling. Just avoid the bullet hell, pseudo bullet hell we've got going on here. You do still get 1-1-up, although that's really close to a spawning Gordo. The real trick, though, is gonna be getting in the door. Because as you can see, they keep falling off screen. There's not too many, though. Let's fight Kracko! This fight, actually pretty challenging. Unless you know the exploit. Because Kracko is very quick and very aggressive in this one. As long as you know to jump when he dashes towards you, you'll be fine and dandy. Because he'll just keep doing this. If you've tried to do this fight any other way, like, you're likely going to take a lot of hits, but this path is pretty foolproof, and since it's the spot where he normally, drops attacks right away, like the first bomb goes there, like it's pretty easy to get ammo to damage him. Ooh. One last hit. Let's do it. Bingo! Back to Mount DDD. Let's go. Well, let's dance first. Dancing is very important. Hey! Okay, now let's go to the mountain. I never got what happens with that star. Like, is Kirby driving it into the wall by accident, or is it the star itself driving itself into the wall? Well, either way, we're back. Let's do these stages with their refights and with their more aggressive enemies. They're still the exact same length. I wish that had changed a little bit, but I get why it didn't. We're talking about a Game Boy cartridge, especially like a small Game Boy cartridge in '92. They didn't have as much extra space as they did later on, because Nintendo usually limited the amount of space they would offer on the chips. At least that was the case of what they've done. That's what they did with the Switch, now that I think about it, so it's not like they've stopped doing that. That's why, oh, damn it. That's why longer RPGs started coming around more frequently the longer the Game Boy's lifespan went on. Versus these short experiences. But then again, short experiences also really sold on the Game Boy since you had to worry about battery life. It wasn't a Game Gear, but it still had, oh. It still had batteries. Oh. That's still going. Oh, I definitely thought that was gonna hit me. All right, lo 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 and la la la. Just cut right to it, right to the chase. Since every boss is a lot faster now, it's actually going to take a little bit longer to get through here, which is weird, because you'd think the speed would mean that the boss fight would go by faster. But nope, quite the opposite, unfortunately. Oh, that was not the one I thought I was going to grab. Okay. Wow, that actually counted. Thought it wouldn't. 2 hits left. Let's go, la la la. It always sounds so weird. I know that the triplet is a thing, DDD, lo lo lo, la la la, but it always seems weird saying it out loud. Kaboola! We've got full health. Why did I say that? Why did I say that? Oh, hubris. Well, we've got mostly full health. Let's see how we do this time. We did pretty good last time. Only took 1 hit. And we've already taken that 1 hit. So Kaboola can also dash at like diagonals, at angles, and I'm surprised he's like they're only doing straight lines. Oh, there we go. I had to say it every time I say it. 2 hits that time. But that time they actually went diagonally, so it makes sense. Well, the good news is, if we have a clean Krakow fight, we're good for DDD. The downside is, as you've likely noticed, it does not heal you between these fights, so unfortunately we are going to DDD with no health. And the DDD fight on extra mode is actually challenging. DDD is an aggressive boyo, especially with all that health. Because he also got upped in the speed department. As long as I remember to jump. As long as I'm ready to jump, I ain't got much to worry about. But man, he really wants me dead. This cloud is trying to murder me. Alright, 1 more. Okay, no hits. We're good. Let's do it. 3 hits for DDD. Probably not gonna win this run. But stranger things have happened. Let's do it. King DDD this time around. Way faster. Same amount of health. But you gotta be quick on the draw, because he can just do that, which negates the attack you grab from him. So sometimes it's not even worth going for the ground pound ones. Normally the hammer's better. But just his actual speed is pretty ludicrous. We gotten our first hit in on him, and he got 2 hits on us already. Luring you into the air for hammer drops might be the wiser decision, but you still have to be careful. What are you doing? Okay, you're going for that. Oh, we're dead. Nope, nope. Oh, he goes for the double now. Up! You know what? I will say this, and I know by saying this and finishing the sentence I'm gonna die, but we've lasted longer in this fight than I expected. It hurts the most when you actually call out the fact that saying this will kill you. And when you say it, it does indeed kill you. Once, just once, I would love to curb that trend. Just once. Well, full health, let's go. 6 hit points versus 10. Ooh, the instant trip. Ooh, the trips. Ooh, oh, come on now. Oh no, we're in trouble. Oh, DDD is being very rude right now. Yep, he's gonna mess us up, man. And especially if my jump doesn't work. Oh, we're so fucked. Yep, wow. Wow, we did worse that time than when we had 3 hit points. Man, that sucks. Okay. Let's try to be a bit more proactive. Try not to fall for the bait shots. Yeah, when he does his, like, his stomp and he stops in midair, that's, like, one of the meanest times. Wow, what is this pattern he's giving me? Holy crap, that was clean! This is so clean right now. God, I could fucking wash my car with how clean this is. I guess sometimes DDD just changes his pattern for no discernible reason. This is like the nicest pattern he probably could have given us at this point. That is a no-hit. All right. Sure. Why not? Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Unbelievable. Well, whatever. That's it. That's the game for real this time. Same credits as before. 2 sloppy, one okay DDD fight, 1 sloppy fight, and then the cleanest possible fight we could have had at all. Holy crap. But that is Kirby's Dream Land. That's both difficulties. It's a lot of fun, honestly. If you've never gone back and played it, it is hard to go back to if you're so used to the Kirby having power-ups. It is a very big difference. But it's still an enjoyable game. It still holds up pretty well. Even if you're so used to, like, Spring Breeze like I am with Kirby Superstar, it's still fun to go to. A little bit of stiffness in the controls because it's a Game Boy game in the first in the series, but I do recommend. I especially love the fact that there's, you know, the extra mode they kind of pull at you out of nowhere. That wasn't very common back then, so it's cool seeing something like that. Alright, the ending is basically the same. We fall back through the castle. Food rains back down to the denizens of Dreamland, and Kirby once again pulls out his bye-bye sign. But just like before, the game technically is still not done yet, because it's time for the actual credits. Gordo, Bront, Burt, Waddle Dee, Waddle Doo, and Shotzo. Oh no, Shotzo's the first one, not the second one. Oops. Poppy Rose Jr., Cappy, Twizzy, and Grizzo. Let's learn everyone that we murdered along the way. Poppy Rose Sr. in Wispy Woods. Then in Area 2, we had Broom, Hatter, Hurley, Booler, Two-Face, Mumbies, Flapper, and Glunk. Kirby names are amazing, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. Lolo and La La La. It's amazing how long it took me to realize that was a reference, considering I'd never played the Lolo games till I was in university. Blipper, Kabu, Squishy, Koner, and Whizzer. And I was like, what, 6 or 7 when this game came out? Kaboola! Kinda wish they'd done more shmup fights. They're very rare in the Kirby games. Sir Kibble, Dizzy, Kookler, Puffy, and Scarfy. And then the Kracko family. Or just Kracko back then. And now the extra mode characters. Koozer, Tukey, and Blopper. They're just really fun to say. Sculler, Chucky, Gaspar, and Mr. P. Umpkin. Flotzo, Grumples, Peezer, and Blatzy. Ah, Blatzy was it. I know some of these guys come back. Boomer definitely comes back. Whiskers, Calcoon, Benny. I think Boomer comes back in Dreamland 3? That might be 64 I'm thinking of. And of course, King Dedede. And just like before, it hangs on this screen a little too long, and we unlock one more game mode. Config mode. You're our hero! Press down, B, and select on the title screen for the config mode and more fun. Meanwhile, Kirby shows up on the little scenes like, yo, hey. You okay over there? I know I beat you up pretty bad. You alright? You me okay? Hey, look up. We got another mode. And then he just starts crying like, oh, god damn it, you beat me up twice. I'm out of here. I hate you. Leave me alone. Alright, let's reset one last time and check out config mode. Down, select, and B! Configuration mode, which comes with a handy-dandy sound test. Listen to all the music in the game. All 19 tracks. And then all your favorite sound effects, such as explosion, swimming, falling, explosions. That's also explosion technically, that's a murder. Selecting, more selecting. Water, but also sounds like, it's amazing how many sound effects are basically just explosions. But the actual real money is here in configuration mode. Configuration mode lets you change how much health you start with, or are permanently locked to. So back on Something Awful in the Let's Play sub forum, Rom Scout, I believe it was him, came up with this game mode, which was a real challenge. 1 hit point, 1 life, that's it. Get as far as you can. The game has unlimited continues, but if you have to continue, there are no checkpoints. You are sent back to the beginning of the stage. So, getting through that at all was just a real chore, considering configuration mode is also extra mode difficulty. So the fast, aggressive enemies are again there. But you can no longer heal at all, like any hit will kill you. Wait. Oh, no, you can combine the two. Oh, my bad. I was like, wait a minute. This is very clearly not extra mode. I thought by default config mode was also extra mode. You just have to enable them both. Okay, so yeah, no, this isn't nearly as bad. Here, well then, let's reset and actually do the extra mode. Okay, so the mistake I made was you have to enable extra game first and then type in configuration mode. Because when you hit exit, it goes into the game. Oh no, it doesn't. Wait, oh, what happened to the music? What happened to the music? That was weird. Okay. Now here we go. Now we're in extra mode, and... Oh, I actually thought that was going to kill us immediately. And now we're dead. Which gives me a chance to show off the game over screen, because I actually wanted to do this too. The game over screen, at least in my mind, I've had people dispute this, and apparently this is not the case. I always thought this was the origin of Master Hand, because the Kirby hands are always animated, and they act like actual characters. They point a lot, and they usually beat up Kirby. They're very helpful if you continue, but if you get killed and... Oh, I actually wanted to die that time. Nope, no one wants to kill me. If you get killed and decide to end the game, pretty much every Kirby game has a special animation for what they do. They've gotten softer, and the Master Hand style hand has gone away in later games, but usually it does lead to Kirby getting the shit kicked out of him in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, so I always thought that was supposed to be the origin of Master Hand. I believe it's been disputed and may have even been proven that it's a different character or idea, but in my heart of hearts, that's Master Hand to me. Or even Crazy Hand. But that's going to do it for Kirby's Dream Land. If you want to do the challenge run, go for no lives, only 1 hit point pip, more power to you, go for it. I tried doing that in university. It's pain. It is a pain considering how aggressive some of those are. You basically have to get to the point where you've memorized the entire game or at a speedrun level. But if you want a challenge, if you don't think the game is hard enough, go for it. I'm out of here. I might check out Dreamland 2 to try in the future, because again, that's one of the few I never went back and tried again. It might be the only out of the mainline ones. Yeah, I think that and I have 64 I've played a bunch, but Dreamland 2 I haven't. It's weird. But I know that there's another Kirby game. If I choose to do another Kirby game in the future, I know what one it'll be. But it is funny officially doing Dreamland after when my first LP was actually Superstar, even though I never put all of it up here on YouTube. It is still funny going back to just see this and play it. It's fun. It was nice going back and checking this out. Take it easy, everybody. Till next time.